Dr. Dinesh, my question to you is: are there a lot of undergraduates and graduates who are here today? It's almost 50% of them. So, as a graduate or an undergraduate, when you think of doing higher studies, so what are the things they should keep in mind to actually go and choose the masters? Can you please enlighten us on that, Dr. Dinesh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as pursuing higher education in agriculture, agriculture is a very vast subject, and when a student is studying in an undergraduation program, so he typically he goes through uh, more than hundreds of courses, I think, in 4 year degree program. And every semester, typically 10 or 12 courses, and there are more than 12 or 15 mainstream branches in agriculture sciences, ranging from plant breeding to genetics, horticulture, agriculture economics, food technology, uh, communication. So there are a lot of areas where specialization is available as far as post graduation is concerned. So now the question comes that which field anyone has to choose. So as far if I will be asking this question from the students, or if I have to take a call, I will suggest and advise all the listeners here and viewers that please choose the course or field where you find your interest lies. So some of you might be having interest in working out in the field. Some of you might be having interest working within the lab. Some of you might be having an interest in working within the factory premises. Others might be having a skill set of meeting more and more people. So somebody who has got interest in meeting more and more people, so he should specialize in an area where it's more focused towards sales and marketing. And someone who wants to work in lab, so he should adopt a field where he can do research, and probably it all depends upon your interest. But whichever branch you take, so currently agriculture is very has got a lot of opportunities globally. So whichever branch you are trying to choose, I think that you can excel in any branch and any field. So it is not that which vertical is having more packages or who can draw more salaries. It all depends like how you perform when you go into the industry after that. So I will suggest that whatever branch you choose the best one which you love to work in. So in that way, you will be actually be happy also, and you will excel also in whichever branch you choose. So all branches in agriculture currently are very good, but you should be selective in terms of which university. Do some research, talk to your colleagues, your seniors, your professors, discuss with them your strength, and then probably you will come to know that which college suits you best, which department is best for you, and then you should decide according to these criteria. Thank you.
So, thank you, Dr. Dinesh. So, my next question would be for the same thing. Like, do you think for the current curriculum, because I'm sure I mean, you have traveled the world, you have actually connected with a lot of different professions. So, do you think the current curriculum in the agriculture institutes, whether it's graduation or post graduation, are they really up to the standards or the kind of education we need in terms of the content or the curriculum? Or you have some kind of study or ICAR to as soon as they come out.
Sandeep ji, as far as the current course curriculum is concerned, most of the agriculture universities and in fact the private universities as well as in India, I am aware of, they all go by the course program and curriculum designed by ICAR and the guidelines. As working in the industry, what we see that there are still a lot of scope available where we can incorporate a lot of courses which are relevant with the requirement of current day industry requirement. What we see that the course curriculum has not been upgraded or updated as per the industry. We have seen in last 10, 15 years, the technology has moved in a much faster way, and there has been a lot of changes happening in the industry. Same goes with the agriculture industry also. So agriculture industry also has witnessed a lot of drastic changes in last 1.5 decade or so, and the requirement of industry has changed a lot. So first thing is that what we have felt in the industry that most of the graduates were coming out of colleges, probably undergraduate students as well as postgraduate both. we teach them all courses which are related with the scientific knowledge and information. But most of the industries, they are focused more on marketing part. So there has to be some marketing courses as well incorporated in the undergraduate program as well, so that the graduates who are passing out from these 4-year degree program, they have fair enough idea of various marketing tools, marketing terminology, technique. So some emphasis has to be there. There has to be a couple of courses on marketing. Similarly, there has to be a couple of courses on account side as well. And because most of these guys will be working in the field, working in the sales and marketing, and they will be interacting with a lot of people, and they will be having a targets oriented job profile initially in their career. So they have to have that knowledge as well, and they have to be equipped with various tools. And in here in this case, it is basically IT tools. So there has to be incorporation of various IT courses or IoT and precision farming. So all these new verticals which are coming up in the industry, probably these courses should also be included, probably in form of at least two courses per semester, or maybe a dedicated elective in the final year or something like that, so that the students are well equipped as per the industry requirement. So this is a missing gap probably, and I think we should rework on the current courses which we have been studying since 1960 or so.
Great, thank you, Dr. Dinesh. I'm sure we'll take help of Vicky to put it across ICAR and the HRD department. Maybe we look forward to have some changes very soon. So I will come to the thing which everybody is here for, career guidance from Mandeep. So Mandeep, uh, see, if I'm pursuing, and I'm a student of agriculture, and post-COVID, I'm also like everybody else. I'm worried about my career. So what should I do? What is something I should look forward to? Please let me know. Like they would love to know about what kind of different options for students to choose from. But from my future perspective, from something like which can be sustained for longer, for my consistent growth, and what areas do you think will be more relevant in future, so that today's student would start focusing more maybe towards them, so that they have a better future, more relevant future. Can you please
You
give
see,
some light on that?
there as far as the concern of future is there, and the technology which is going to exist in future. So for any graduate or postgraduate who is coming out of the college, he has to have some idea like where his sector is going down the line, and which areas or which skill set will help him to move forward and be relevant in coming time. So there have been a lot of newer technologies and newer areas where there is a lot of stability and future is very bright. So for example, like IoT, precision farming, then weather forecast. There is another area. Then a lot of data processing, and then lot of startups are coming up with analysis of data and all those things. So if you can have interest in those areas, or if you can get those kind of companies who are adopting newer technologies, those will be the organizations which are going to grow in the future, apart from the current brick and mortar model. E-commerce is another area where a lot of development is going to happen. So anything which is being on digital platform is definitely true for agriculture as well. So that is one thing. Then second is like vertical farming is there. So this is again another protected cultivation, aquaculture. Then food technology. There are a lot of newer technology which are coming in, artificial protein and all those kind of industry. These are some of the areas which will emerge in future, and they will be having a very good opportunities as well. So now the objective is to identify which is the upcoming field, which is the upcoming areas, and you have to grab those kind of fields, and you have to develop special skill set required for those kind of industries, so that you fit in well in those sectors, and you will always have an early mover advantage. So these are the technology will be driving agriculture in future coming time. So those are the areas where the passing out graduate should focus on, and they should have also some inclination on business part as well. So we in an industry will are looking forward for people who can understand business language as well. So agriculture is very typical in that sense. So we have to adapt according to the requirement of the industry.
Great, thank you so much. And also a lot of youngsters here, people who are graduates or who are undergraduates, they would like to know. I mean, I got a question from one of the undergraduates asking that as a business company or as any big company or corporate or agri tech, what kind of skill set they look at before hiring. So they would like to know what kind of skill set they should have to get hired in good companies.
I think this is very interesting question, and this is very relevant, and it is not only relevant for agriculture but for any graduate who is passing out of his college. And probably what is happening is, like, when we are in college, we are taught mostly the scientific part of it. We as a faculty, we forget that when these guys will go out in the market, they have to deal with a different kind of situation. So I, as a graduate, have to always think that what my employer is looking forward from me. I may be best in the knowledge which is available in the textbook. No doubt that you have to have proper knowledge of your field. So this holds true for agriculture as well. So apart from this, you definitely have to have your subject knowledge. First thing which any employer will look forward for whatever role he's looking to hire you. Secondly, 90% of the graduates who are passing out of agriculture college or agriculture university, what they are going to do. So let's understand this question. So what they are going to do is that they are going to help these companies to sell their produce, or they may be developing their own product, or they may will become an entrepreneur. So in any case, they are not going to do themselves farming. So they have to have some knowledge of doing business and business terminology, and this agriculture graduate is actually talking to farmers and also to a lot of corporates. So he has to have a very broad bandwidth as well. Secondly, the agriculture industry has got some typical requirement. This is not a 9 to 5 job, and it is a seasonal also. So you have to be very strong in those terms. You can have to work for 12 hours or 16 hours in terms of when the season is there, when the harvesting is going on, or when the sowing is going on, and when the application of pesticide is happening in the market. So that way, it there may be certain period of time when you have to work beyond 9 to 5 kind of boundaries. So you have to know that this will be the requirement of the industry, and you have to be prepared for yourself. You have to get yourself prepared for those kind of requirements. And so this is some of the key areas. Communication obviously is very important. Probably most of the time you will be spending in communicating either with your internal employers or with your clients and customers. Some basic finance knowledge, because you have to deal with the dealers and suppliers. So that also you need. And then have some basic proficiency in Excel, PowerPoint, and all those things, because these are the basic requirement now apart from your technical knowledge. So I think you have to have a mix of all these things. And probably if you are not having these skill set, probably employer will be reluctant to hire you, or you have to you will be not equipped to for as per the current industry requirement. Yeah, Sandeep, this is a very interesting question, and probably I've been striving a lot in this on this area, because being an agriculturist and working for more than 2 decades almost in this industry, we would love to see that our sector outperforms all other sectors in the industry. And probably now the time has come when agriculture graduates fetch more salary than an engineer who get passed out from BTech college. So this is a good thing to, and I'm very proud to say that, because when we started our career, that point of time, agriculture was not something which people were very proud of at that point of time. But now we see that there are a lot of engineers and IIT graduate pass outs coming from Silicon Valley, working in agtech startups. So agriculture has shown, and even in this COVID era and post-COVID era, we will see that food is the most important thing which people are looking forward for. So the my advice, piece of advice for both the agriculture colleges and the institutes who are running this industry, or the ICR guys, is that try to hire the best talent. And how we can hire the best talent, or how we can get the pass out coming out of schools and college schools, especially the school pass out, how we can create interest in them towards this agriculture sector. So we have to make it more attractive. We have to have more events. We have to create overall awareness. So all the people who are working in this industry, as well as in the universities, it is our all. It is a responsibility of all of us to work collectively and tell the school passing graduates or school pass out that this is the sector which is going to emerge. And it's true that the pass out from agriculture universities get much more salary than a pass out engineers today. And this coming times, we will be industry will be requiring much more talented agriculture graduates. So we see there is a clear gap between the requirement of the industry and what we are getting now. So if we work towards these areas addressing these issues, probably I don't see there will be any reason that agriculture graduates will be treated below par than medicine or engineering. So it's not like that. Gone are the days when ag graduates were offered lesser salaries by the industry. We get much more salaries now than any normal graduate or engineer.
That's great news.
Yeah.
So great. Thank you so much,